I find myself reflecting a lot on this hopeful and hopeless dynamic. And there are things I feel very hopeful for, and much of which has been stated. I work for a company headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, that has made $1 billion commitment over the next 4 years around racial equality and economic opportunity. A very diverse company with a very diverse customer base, a very diverse employee base, coalescing around this commitment to respond to the needs of society that we face today. And that's where change will happen, in my view, where coalitions of people, not always allies in some of these challenges, come together with that fire that we heard about to say, now is the time to not just make a headline, but now's the time to really deploy the resources and assets of a $2 trillion company with 200,000 employees to really challenge ourselves to do something different and to do it over time, not for a moment, not for an announcement, but really do the hard work. And the coalitions of corporations and nonprofits and advocates and regulators and policymakers all have a role to play. The tent is going to have to get bigger to be successful and to endure over time. The hopeless part is that I often find myself reflecting on some of my visits to the Birmingham Civil Rights Museum and the African American History and Culture Museum in DC, where I look at those pictures of almost exclusively white people standing on the streets during civil rights protests, during lynchings, who were observers. And I always find myself asking, what were they thinking? And how could people, to your earlier points about religious people, good Christians, allow themselves to be complicit in moments of such horror? And I challenge all of us, I think, to think about that, because we still are a fractured country, and we still are a country where a lot of people are spectators right now, and who stand on the sideline and observe and then get distracted, to Darren's point about the dynamic of a justice or safety. And we get distracted and we immediately pivot and start having a safety conversation. And you see how easy it is to shift. And that's what makes me nervous. And I think it's incumbent on all of us to make sure that doesn't happen, and that the focus remains on the issues that are so critical. And we are committed to continuing to work with you all at Aspen, and thank you so much for doing this. And Darren and Anna and Dr. Nixon, it's a privilege to share the stage, so to speak. So thank you, Doug.